Hello and welcome to the Morningscape podcast. I am Matt Moody, joined by DJ Mitchell as we go through the Tuesday, November 11th NHL Daily Fantasy Slate. Let's get into it.
You're saying they're looking like an idiot.
Well, is that any different than normal?
This is the first time I will admit was unbelievably wrong.
DJ, normally there are a span of 4 to 5 days between us doing YouTube shows, but not today. We did our first Saturday stream of the season this past weekend, so we pretty much know what we've been up to. But how you doing on this fine Monday evening?
I'm good. I mean, the games are off to a good start for me. Yesterday was a good betting day. Today's been a good betting day so far. I just, I'm having fun. I'm having an enjoyable time. Yeah, I don't know. Not a whole lot else. I mean, like you said, we had talked very recently. I feel like Saturday stream, we made a lot of good takes, but not a lot of good bets. It was actually pretty impressive to be pretty on the right cue with many games and then just going the wrong direction on all of them. In betting,
Yeah,
at least. I think
I feel like I did pretty. Mine was pretty solid. I think I went 8 for, or how many games were there? I think I went 7 for 10 on it wasn't worth much of anything because I took a bunch of, juiced bets in round robindom. But my main draw was the DFS slate where Columbus won top stack. Apparently was also shared by Cliffy. I tuned into that show and people are like, "Oh, Cliffy, great call," and they're sending him money. Somebody sent him $100 super chat. I'm like, fuck you guys. We were out here in the YouTube streets. I think after that show was over, actually, but saying the same thing, and all we got the show for it, I think, was $1.99 for the Buffalo munchies. So much appreciated to our good friend D-Gen Stoner. But it was just funny to tune into the Stochastic show today and see that they're literally talking about Cliffy calling Columbus won when they were 4% on the night, and I smashed them in main and on late and just cleaned up money wise. So yeah. But anyway, it was so that part was annoying. But yeah, I feel like we were generally on things. And shout out to the guy who commented saying I wish you guys would talk about DFS more as I spoon fed you the nuts. Just much apprecited.
Spoon fed nuts. That's what we should call this. Please call the league spoon fed nuts, please. Thank you kindly. I mean, yeah, that's pretty much all there is to it. That game, I did get a bet that hit on, so I was happy.
Hey, there you go. I mean, okay, so I did some super degen. We were talking the super upside plays, the 5+ shots or whatever. I did 2 Fantilli assists as one of that, and I had 2x round robindom. So I had 6 bets, and if 2 of them hit, I turned $30 into, I think it was at least 800. And I think the Fantilli plus whoever would have been between $800 and $1,200, but couldn't get anything else there. But yeah, no, it was a pretty good day.
I feel like we may have the most ever wealth illusions of all time. We just find a way. We have both had opportunities out the wazoo to make a lot of money and found a way to not get it. And just another one slipping through the grasps of the.
I find ways to make a lot of money a lot of times, but I lose a lot of money as well.
So that is
how it goes.
But it's more fun that way. I mean, if you won every night System, is it even enjoyable anymore? Probably.
I don't think so. I think you'd have to take up cocaine or something. No, geez, cocaine, that's light stuff. I'm thinking crystal meth. That's what I was going for. Just to feel something.
You should catch up on the Chair Company on Netflix's YouTube Robinson show. Cocaine comes into the mix out of absolute fucking nowhere, and it was such a funny line to me for some reason. Yeah, the Chair Company on Netflix if you want to watch something when there's not a lot of hockey on. But with all this out of the way and the general nonsense of 5 minutes while people join, I think we should probably get right into things. Like we said, we talked on Saturday. Hopefully we have more Saturday slates to cover coming up this Saturday. Probably a bad one for me, but many to come. 9-game slate. I thought it was an 8-game slate for some reason. I think I just mentally crossed out Calgary, St. Louis. And then I looked again. I was like, oh yeah, that is a game that has to be played. So there are 9 actually. I mean, anything you want to talk about before we get right into the overview?
The overview. What the fuck? What am I, Peter Overs at?
Got any jokes?
Oh boy, I'm sitting with one right now on screen.
Fuck.
I am purple. Yeah.
I'm out of here.
Yeah, no, I don't have anything else. I'm assuming if you're listening or plugged in at this point, you know that I do a newsletter, moods.beehive.com. I did a Friday night write up. I'm trying to remember. I think I did pretty well Friday night too. I don't remember if the
Brag a little more.
write-up was like the reason for or whatever. That was the Bedard Celebrini Donkey Fest, and Bedard
Always
was
is.
well, I guess Bedard played Calgary and whatever. I wrote about those two, and it ruffled some feathers. You know, the 3 people who read, one of them was like, "Oh, what do you mean? You know, Celebrini, blah blah blah." It was like, "Ah, okay," but Bedard, and then Bedard went ape shit. So pretty cool stuff there from good old Connor Bedard.
Matt finding a way to cause controversy between 2 of the youngest players, just nuking the entire league, and everybody celebrating together. And he's like, actually, one's better than the other, and fuck you. And it's like, great. Have to
exactly.
ruffle feathers.
I gotta
gaggle of feathers.
I gotta protect those best ball bags with a 0% Macklin Celebrini. That is my sole focus. That good old $1,200 in action going.
Please get to the slate.
All right, fine.
Okay,
fine. Nope, not that.
Oh, I like the background. It looks beautiful.
That is very nice.
What a cool event. I mean, honestly, I love that that's the background. That was unbelievable. Like, one of the coolest things the NHL's ever done that no one watched, which is all the things you do.
Well, what was really cool about it is when they had to like not play it for like 2 hours because it was too sunny. As if who could have guessed that the sun would be shining. I mean, just very NHL stuff.
Yeah.
Okay.
Fucking Lucifer himself, Gary Bettman, doesn't know the sun exists, so it makes sense to me.
Fair enough.
We got 9 games. We got I feel like the overarching storylines on a lot of teams like do not penetrate my brain anymore, because I listened to a podcast of like a normie podcast, and they were just like slam dunking on Toronto, and I'm like, aren't they good? And I guess they're not winning games. That game looks good off the jump. There's plenty of news and notes to talk about, but teams that look good. Shockingly, Colorado looks great. Columbus looks good, but they're on a back-to-back. The Vancouver Winnipeg game is one that I'm kind of early on thinking about, but I almost wonder if the cat's kind of out of the bag on Winnipeg being kind of a mess defensively. So anything over the top here you want to mention, or just get right into it?
Yeah, I mean, Boston, Toronto, a rematch, but this time with Charlie McAvoy. What they played, was it Thursday? They played each other. I don't know. McAvoy missed this weekend though, and he's back now, so nothing to see or do there. Yeah, they played on Friday.
Oh, maybe you're right. I don't know.
Did I really write about that game? I don't know.
I don't know why I thought it was Friday.
Sorry. They did play on. They played on Saturday, and then Sunday Carolina and Toronto played. So yeah,
that's right. All right. Yep.
Yeah. So really a rematch for Boston there, with McAvoy back, as I was saying. Washington, Carolina. Carolina continues to just suffer defensive injuries. I truly, it's remarkable, honestly, what's transpiring there. But not sure if like a guy like Gostisbehere could come fill the gap that Charles Alexis Legault leaves in the lineup. Imagine someone telling you that a month and a half ago. Like, yeah, we're going to be saying this on a podcast.
He's out for sure.
Yeah, they said the injury quote did not seem good. That's Broadbent saying that. So
he got caught,
yeah,
right?
something like that. Yeah, like so my guess is it's like a tendon or something.
Oh my god.
So
fighting somebody.
In any case, like he's fine. He's out of the hospital or whatever. But like hockey wise, he's not back anytime soon, is my guess. Minnesota, San Jose, just an absolute tire fire of a matchup that we will get to. Yeah, and then the Anaheim Ducks are on the slate. So finally, Colorado gets a test. Everything else you pretty much covered. So let's get into the game by game. If you are on the podcast feed, remember that on DJ's YouTube channel, there are some visuals to accompany this podcast.
Including our beautiful faces.
Of course, yes. Primarily our beautiful faces. So starting off, Toronto, Boston. We did not get a practice on Monday, so these lines certainly could change. They kind of got dog walked by Carolina. I think there was a close game on the scoreboard, but that was largely the top power play. And 5-on-5, they got crushed. So Nyes, Matthews, Nylander, Nick Robertson, Tavares, McMahon, Joshua, Waugh, Michelli, Lorenz, Domi, Lawton. I don't know what they're going to do. I don't. Do you have any thoughts on depth pieces in Toronto, or is this just a top line sort of thing for you?
Yeah, I mean, the like you're saying, the game was a bit skewed. The expected goals numbers were 5.5 Carolina to 2.5 Toronto. Now, if you go to like HockeyViz, for example, and you look up, I think you have to get above a 0.1 to be on like the actual list of players. The players that had a high enough expected goals to count were Nyes, Riley, Nylander, Matthews, Tavares. That's concerning for the bottom six. That is just not a factor, and frankly, all suck out loud. I mean, there is no depth on this team that is relevant. Morgan Riley did get some run on the top power play, but that's because of a shot block to OEL. He did come back, so I expect him to keep that role. Hasn't done a ton, but like at 3,500, it makes sense. Like if you're going to play Toronto, there are 5 players to consider. I don't think Morgan Riley's cheap enough yet to consider, unless if he gets the top power play rollback. He was certainly in consideration until then. Nylander has been unbelievable. I think at 7,800, he's still like maybe a minor value. So like it makes sense to me, but it is quite expensive. There are other spots on the slate I like a lot, but I mean, to be entirely honest, that's really all I am considering in this game. I think Toronto is a better team than they showed against Carolina. It was a back-to-back. I guess it's a back-to-back for both teams, but whatever.
Well, Carolina got to play the Sabres the night before, so
doesn't count. This is true. Like I think again, like my sole focus in this game is Toronto. I doubt that that's that crazy, but I just don't think on the road in a game that is a 6.5, but minus 135, like it's not going to be donkey chalk. There's plenty of donkey chalk to cover, and it's not this.
Yeah, Stolarz got pulled from the Boston game, so I mean Joey Wall. They played fucking Hildeby in that. That's right. So actually, I'm not sure what the goalie situation will be on Tuesday for Toronto.
Yeah, Woll's getting close. That was mentioned on 32 Thoughts that like he's could be pretty soon back in the in the mix. He's 7,700, so it's not like you're sneaking anything by, but I probably keep an eye on it every day.
Yeah, so I guess they could call him up. He was okay. So he played on Saturday in the AHL, and he could come up anytime. So just keep an eye out there. I'm guessing, Hildeby's on the slate, so we won't have a goalie that's not on the slate starting. Otherwise, on the Boston side, they did score 5. They chased Stolarz, like I just said. Morgan Geekie scored, Pastrnak scored, had 7 shots on goal. Much more like it from David Pastrnak. For 8,800, though, he's really not putting up the sort of expected fantasy point numbers that you want at that price tag. So I think you're really hard pressed to play David Pastrnak on this slate, just with all the options. I mean, primarily the Colorado game late. McKinnon is just pretty clearly superior, I think, to spend up.
Mm-hmm.
But even Matthews on the other side of this game. Kaprizov against San Jose at home. I don't see myself getting to Pastrnak at this price range. But Boston does offer some other interesting pieces. Geeky is certainly good, 5,300. I'm preferential toward Victor Arvidsson. He's still 3,900. I don't know what this guy needs to do to get a price increase. He was at like 8.5 fantasy or expected fantasy points per game before Lindholm got hurt. He got boosted to the top power play and just continues to produce. He scored, had a shot bonus against Toronto. The minutes aren't going to be the best, but 16, 17 minutes of power play 1, that's like the Victor Arvidsson. That's literally the Victor Arvidsson role. And he's going to shoot. He's going to be top power play. So I like his odds here. But DJ, any interest in a Charlie McAvoy, Pavel Zacha, anyone down the lineup in Boston? The Fraser Minton revenge tour continues.
I mean, he scored last time. Why not do it again, right? At 2,814 minutes of ice time. Why not? I get like gun to head, obviously, I was at one time the biggest Victor Arvidsson slappy. You could always convince me that he's a consideration with the way he's playing.
Yes.
I almost worry about him being owned enough that it's a minor league concern. Like the amount of upper tier players that are in unbelievable spots. You mentioned McKinnon being the clearest cut, but like San Jose is on the slate. I know they played better defensively. Is that overblown? Yeah. Kaprizov will be playing them, and people will be looking for punts, and he's going to stand out. I just don't know if that's a building block I want to be on. Like, I do think that they're going to be pretty outmatched by one of the top two lines in Toronto. So I'm good to move on to Washington, Carolina, if you are.
Yep. So Washington, I mean, you were saying like normie brain stuff. I mean, I don't know if this is necessarily fantasy brain stuff. I had not realized Washington has lost 6 of 7 games. Just, no idea. Had no clue. But with that, the prices have come down for the most part. Alex Ovechkin, 6,500. He's just getting nothing to go in the net. 12.76 expected fantasy points per game. Even better than Jake Chikrin, who at least is getting some production for it. But yeah, Ovi's reaching critical peak of like, okay, well, is he dust like Mika Zibanejad before he checks tonight's game? I'm sure I'm sure that went fine. And is he just done, or is this like the clear bounce back spot of the century? One thing about Carolina is, of course, they aren't allowing much volume, but they are allowing glorious scoring chances. And that immediately points me toward a Tom Wilson type, net front. Just gonna, I mean, if you imagine Tom Wilson posting up against, I don't know, at best, I guess K'Andre Miller, sure. But like after that, I mean, the middle, or Jesus, the bottom two pairs in Carolina are just really tough right now. So I kind of like Tom Wilson with that in mind. But any takes on Washington on the road headed to Carolina?
Yeah, you probably never heard of this guy. He's pretty under the radar. Jacob Chikrin. Like if you're playing Washington and you're going down the rabbit hole, just put him in at 6K. Like honestly, again, like Ovi, Wilson, Chikrin, do it. Who cares? We're all gonna die anyways. Who cares? They're on the ice all the time. They're the entire offense. Like throw in Dylan Strome. Get brave. Be bold. Like this is too cheap all around him. I mean, Chikrin is getting priced up enough. But Carolina is going to have a defensive core that is basically just Sean Walker, Nikishin, and K'Andre Miller. I mean, after that, it is guys that were not on their team to start the year. That just is a fact. So
that is 100% true.
Like
fact check,
this is
true, DJ.
This is a spot that I'm interested in, and those are the 4 guys to play. There really aren't any depth pieces I'm all that interested in. But if you look at just the slate over the past 5 games, Chikrin and Ovi are, I believe, 5th and 7th in shot attempts. Like there's a good bit of offense being captured there in a pretty decent matchup, even though it's on the road. On the other side, Carolina, like what's been Washington's problem is they can't score when Logan Thompson starts in goal, even though he keeps them in any game possible. And when Charlie Lindgren's in goal, they can score because they're always trailing because he doesn't stop the puck. Probably will be Logan Thompson. Does that matter at all to you that a 930 goalie is going to be in instead of a, 878 goalie? Like, is that big enough of a discrepancy that it matters?
Interesting. Here's something. DJ, the Washington Capitals were in attendance at the New England Patriots Tampa Bay Buccaneers game yesterday. I listened to 4 minutes of Spencer Carberry and got absolutely nothing on their lineup, but he talks about that. So maybe the power of Drake May is washed over the Washington Capitals here. As far as the goaltending situation, I mean, it's also the Carolina Hurricanes. They can make any goalie a 930 goalie on any given night. So I'm not overly like, oh my God, gotta play Carolina now. They're pricing up Svechnikov a little bit. He's now 4,700. That full top line, Svechnikov, Aho, Jarvis, is going to cost you 18,000, which is again pretty good. K'Andre Miller, 4,200, did take back over the top power play. So that's what I would do in this spot. I don't think you're saving enough with a 13.3K Ehlers, Stankoven, Blake. Like, honestly, I would rather just play Protoss McMichael Wilson for 13K on the nose in this game. So I guess top line or nothing for me. But again, my general stance of Carolina is I'm gonna let the forwards beat me because they get
Yep.
scoring from 3, maybe even 4 lines if Jordan Martinook decides to capitalize on a shorthanded breakaway, or he steals the empty netter, which is certainly a possibility. So it's not one of those spots where I'm just, constantly running back to place bets on Carolina, I should say. But
Yeah.
yeah, defensively, it's a mess. Joel Nystrom, Mike Riley, Dominic Fensor are who I'm projecting to be in. Gossespierre, I believe, is close, but I didn't see anything from today about
Yeah.
his availability.
Like minimum salary Fensor feels like an option. Like he did like he played 1922 in his only game and they sent him right back down. He had 3
Yeah,
blocks, 2 shots. Like he was involved and seems like a guy that he's a smaller guy. He can carry the puck. He's obviously putting in an effort. Like you could click that button, but at the end of the day, like Keandre Miller is probably like price considered like the best player on the entire slate. Um, is one offing Keandre Miller going to be the donkey chalk? Yeah, I think he's going to be incredibly highly owned, but makes a lot of sense. Um, I'm not that interested in Carolina. I agree with you. It's like I'd like to see him beat me. Like I've played him once or twice, maybe myself, and even in a game against Buffalo where Aho and Jarvis score, it's like they didn't put the slate and Svechnikov. They all scored. I feel like the slate was like alive and well because none of them shoot. Um, I guess other than Aho that night. I don't know.
sure. Yeah, it's
Did they?
again, it's
No, they didn't
it's
get
messy.
there.
That's really all.
They
That's really all
they
I
they
have.
they have got there. Okay, yeah, we can move on. I'm not gonna play Carolina, but a team that I actually am very much considering is LA. Um,
Okay, okay.
I
Give
I I am like just like is anybody gonna click Kempe and Fiala in a lineup tomorrow? You guys that are
Kempe,
averaging
Fiala.
a crap load of shots. I mean, over the last 5, again, going a little bit too granular, 8.2 for Kempe and 8 for Fiala. Now you've got 5 games, so who cares, right? Like they could have had a lot of power plays in a couple of those games. Like the bigger you get, it does get worse. It kind of seems like it's a pretty concentrated effort, but like these guys are averaging 6, 7 shot attempts per game, somewhere in that range on the season. Why not? Why not play the best 2 players on a team against a Montreal team that I just don't think like it's gonna run out. They're not this good. Like, call me crazy.
Um, no, I'm not going to call you crazy, but I will say something that I think might be crazy is if you are playing LA, you just have Blake Corey Perry. Um,
Yeah,
whatever they're doing with
just
him
you
is
can't
working.
getting away
They
with
they
this.
It just feels like Kempe and Fiala. I mean, Kopitar too, but like those 2 guys really control the puck on the power play. They just know where Corey Perry is going to be posted up, and he is executing to perfection. The expected fantasy point numbers are off the charts good. I mean, we're talking Kempe 7K, 12.8 last 10 games expected. Fiala 11.4 last 10 games expected. He's 6,200. Corey Perry 10.6 is 3,700 and got promoted last game to the Dano Moore line, which is, I think, big for his time on ice. I mean, we know that Phil Dano, Trevor Moore are going to play a decent role for this LA team, and they're not very important. They are not Jeff Malott and Alex Turcotte. So, like, Corey Perry's 5-on-5 role is also growing. Do I think he gets to 18 minutes a night? No, but like for 3,700 with the top power play gig, I don't think you need that whatsoever. Um, so yeah, Corey Perry is a guy that I feel like you can take up to like 5K and feel very good about. Is it
Corey
a must
Perry.
play on the road in Montreal? Certainly not, but it's my guy that I'm going to if I'm playing LA. It's Fiala plus Perry, it's Kempe plus Perry, it's Kempe Kopitar plus Perry. That kind of deal. Any thoughts
I'm
there?
building my cash shell right now, and I'm hearing
Okay.
Perry plus Keandre Miller. Good start.
Oh,
Um, no, I agree. I mean, I think that like that makes. I just think LA is that is the DJ chalk call. I mean, again, I don't think it'll be chalk, but if it is chalk tomorrow and we all turn the cards over and they're just like you fucking asshole, like that's the DJ effect at its best. I don't think it's gonna get there. They're road dogs in a 5.5. It doesn't make sense. But somehow, if it just happens, um, I don't know what to tell you, folks. I did it again, but like Kempe, Fiala. I mean, is there? Let's just say you're playing Corey Perry and you're saying I want a second piece. Is there any player you're considering as that second piece over another?
I think it's Kempe, honestly. I know he's more
I'm fine with
expensive
that.
than Fiala, but Kopitar has been playing pretty well. And again, I just really like Armia, like as like a facilitator there. Like, Kuzmenko was like the definition of like just like you have to support him, and like offensively speaking. And obviously he wasn't doing much. That's why he got moved, off the line and whatnot. But it's sort of the situation where like now they have Armia who is going to sort of connect plays and like do hockey things that like are better than Kuzmenko, and Kempe's going to be the one who benefits from it. He's the shooter there; he can score. So Kempe's the guy that I would go to, alongside Perry if I had to pick one.
Yeah, I think I could be brave in 4-man stack even. Like I really like I'm
The
considering
bravest boy.
like they will play their top guys a bazillion minutes if it calls for it. And if
Well,
it's a competitive game, like I could see a game stack here and it's
except
doable. Except
unless
unless
they will play their top guys for a million minutes,
they're winning.
unless their top guy is Brant Clark, which obviously it is,
Ah,
and they will not play Brant Clark for a million minutes in any circumstance.
I can't do it again. We
God damn,
have to go.
we are live on the show while Matt Wood is just, oh my God,
Okay,
what
I'll
a
hang up and
legend.
listen.
I
Wow.
mean,
Are there more goals in the first 10 minutes of
fuck.
the Columbus Edmonton game or points in the football game at halftime?
Is it still 0-0 in the football
It
game?
is.
Okay,
I just wanted
well,
to I wanted to check if McDavid had the shots and I was like 0-0. What? Oh, that's the football game on the score app. I started laughing.
it's tough.
Oh,
That is tough. What a sport.
let's watch a dumb sport. Everybody, let's move let's move past this. I was gonna say and on at the same time over to the best team in the East. Or at least the best team in the Atlantic. Are they first in the Atlantic? Again, let's get
Yes,
some
they are.
normie talk in here. The first
Um,
plays 10-3. Holy shit.
boy,
Okay.
DJ, do I have something to tell you about the Montreal
Did they ever
Canadiens?
lose? Can they lose a game, please?
They will do no such thing. Yeah, the matchup doesn't look too appetizing overall for LA Montreal, but Montreal slightly above negative, so that it counts for
Hmm.
something. And on a lineup level, Caulfield, Suzuki, Slavkovsky is only 18K. We just talked about, I think Carolina one is also 18K, so kind of interesting symmetry there. Demidov
Mhm,
still
mhm,
3,800. I mean,
mhm.
the price is
Cash.
there. If you want to just
Yeah,
ride the
cash.
Montreal wave, I certainly can't
Go.
stop you. Speaking of riding the waves, I know we'll get to Anaheim later, but shout out to Frostback who took down I think every contest in the lobby yesterday. I saw it was the 15. I think his screenshot he was the 5 in the single entry or whatever. He just plays Ducks every night. He's a Ducks fan. It's very cool. Um, so
The respect
if
is off the charts. I mean, you
if
got
you
it.
are playing Montreal, I mean, this is not the time to stop. I think is my point because their prices are not moving despite having very productive players.
Yep. It's again like I think this is a low key like if efficiency happens game stack like that's an option on the table I'm thinking of, but I don't think you need to go too deep. There are again 4 players to consider here. The top line and Demidov. Lane Hutson's too expensive. Unfortunate for him, but it's true.
Yeah, Demidov, 13 points in 15 games. I mean, he's got
Doesn't really
7 points in
shoot,
his last
but
6. What was that?
doesn't shoot, but when he does,
Yeah, I mean, I think he's shooting all right for the time on ice he's getting. It's just a matter of the time on ice is tough to come by. So if you're playing Demidov, it's almost certainly with Caulfield or, Slef. I mean, I think it's honestly, well, yeah, I
mm,
mean, what do you make of Cole Caulfield? 8.2 expected fantasy points per game relative to Suzuki 11.9 and Lefkovsky 10.1.
he just like
Um,
doesn't shoot. I don't know. No one on
okay,
this team shoots. You look at the
okay,
you just
interesting.
I don't understand it. It's like is anybody going
Interesting.
is any like let's look past 10 games.
Yeah, yeah.
Who is leading them in shot attempts?
It's
Take a
probably
guess.
Dobson.
Nope. Nick Suzuki 4.3
Yeah,
shot attempts
okay.
per game. Caulfield
That's not great.
3.7.
Okay, well,
I think I just don't play them and I'm really not punished often. I have been punished. They have punished me because once in a while Suzuki will have I mean, there was a night I bet him to have 3 shots on goal. Back in the day when he shot, I thought 2 goals, 2 shots. And then it happened again, like a week later. And I'm like, this can't keep happening. I'm convinced it will.
I do believe GA also had the same thing happen to him. So maybe it was the same night, maybe it was the opposite
GA,
night. But I recall GA coming in the chat, I think, talking of maybe not. Maybe
let
I'm
me know
just
when
making
you
that
want
up.
to start the Caulfield Anonymous group with me. Actually,
All
he did it last game. 2 goals on 2 shots.
right. Last game. Okay, well, there you go.
He's
Let's
done
get
it
over it.
multiple times this
Yep.
season.
GA with the slander better than I. Cole Caulfield, 5+ shots, bucket, easy money.
Okay. Yeah, move on.
Dallas heads to Ottawa. I mean, we've talked about both these teams as killing the pace for the last little while. Yeah. The numbers bear that out completely and totally.
What if when they meet, they both pick up the pace because they both kill it, and then when they come together, it's like a opposite, like a magnet situation.
It's like it's kind of just like someone has to shoot, that
Yeah,
kind of
they're
deal.
like, is no one gonna shoot? I guess we'll have to, and then they both do it, and then all of a sudden it's like a bazillion shots.
Well, no, what will happen is Dallas will just get a power play, and then they'll have an insta goal credited into their account, and that's what happens.
What I don't understand is, like, how is Ottawa getting away with it? Like, it seems like at 5-on-5 they just stop everyone from shooting, but then again, they don't shoot either. Yeah, this game sucks. I really have no interest in either side. I'm absolutely not playing Ottawa.
If you were the Ottawa Senators and you had a goalie rocking an 871 save percentage as your best goalie, Linus Ullmark 866, I think you would also be like, hey, you know what we're gonna do? We're just not gonna let you shoot the puck.
Yeah, we gotta not let that happen.
Seems to be working for them.
It's okay. Carolina has an 871. That there's hope right behind him.
That is their best goalie right now. So that is exactly what I said.
Yeah, there again. We're gonna get to Ottawa. I'm not gonna play them. I don't plan on playing Dallas either. It's just too expensive. I don't think it's necessary on this slate. Like, people will. There are donkeys out there that will see how bad Ottawa's goaltending has been, and will just play Dallas, and they could get rewarded. But I'm not gonna myself reap the benefits.
Yeah, you watch the games and you see Wyatt Johnson scoring these goals, and you're like,
he's a cover boy.
The 16.1 expected fantasy points per game is probably light. It's just like, how do you not score when you are wide open, all alone in front of the net? Just like the goalie's not even there. The goalie's in the corner chasing the puck. Like, it's crazy. So I'm certainly not going to rule out Dallas here. Like, they are too good. They are too highly concentrated. And yeah, I mean, Ottawa is just not a team I have a ton of time for, a ton of respect for. So the Dallas, we'll see how frothy they get, given they've been very productive lately. But Miro Heiskanen has gotten a ton of attention. Maybe it's like you crank back the dial on Miro Heiskanen and you play, just Wyatt and Rantanen and go somewhere else on defense. Like, maybe that's how you do it if Dallas is going to be a bit popular, but ultimately, I think I'm not going to overthink this and like rule them out or anything. But yeah, it's not a great environment for like a game stack or anything of that sort. IMO. On the Ottawa side, though, Zetterlund moved up to the top line last game. I expect that to stick. So he doesn't get power play time, which is a little unfortunate. But of course, Tim Stützle did not fix all of his stuff, but it doesn't matter. He's been fine lately. I was shocked. Let me pull up the tweet. I posted it in the Discord the other day, or last night, I think. You didn't see that tweet, right?
Probably not.
About Drake Batherson. Okay, so
no idea what you're talking about.
JFresh, we know JFresh on Twitter. AdvancedHockeyStats.com. They have a per 82 leaderboard. So when we were trying to do like the Cutter Gauthier shots, thing, like we could have just gone there and seen it. So they have a points per 82 games leaderboard. And, McKinnon, Nylander, Leo Carlson, Eichel are on top of the list. He had everyone above 100 points. And there are 20 players on track for above 100 points, if they played all 82 games this year. Drake Batherson is one of those 20 players. I was floored by that finding. Mm-hmm. I think it would have taken me 100 guesses to get to that. But here he is. He's at 13 games played and 16 points 5 goals, 11 assists. I mean, this is a player who we were pretty high on in the offseason, and then he
Yep.
came into camp hurt and, missed a bit of time to start the year. Like, Drake Batherson is 5,500 here. I feel like we would be doing a disservice to at least not mention the incredible run he's on right now, but it seems like largely sustainable too. It's not like he's vastly outperforming his expected. So I'm kind of interested in that at this 5,500 price tag. But any thoughts there?
Oh, sorry, you were talking about Ottawa. I was checking my best ball advance rates. They're going up. That's a no. That was I mean no. That was an interesting note. Like Batherson has been very good and is very good. So he is playable. I am just not playing this game. You can't make me. It's a bad game. I don't like this game. I don't play games that look like this. And if I'm punished that I'm spanked on the bottom for it, then that's what happens.
Okay.
But I'm glad you added real context and interesting news and notes because you know what? That's what makes you great and me a coward.
Okay. All right. Whatever.
Jake Batherson in the past 10 games has 3.6 shot attempts per game.
Yeah, I mean, I feel quite confident.
They're not shooting. They're playing. The pucks are getting on net when they shoot sometimes.
I feel confident that I know who Drake Batherson is as a player, and the price tag just does not reflect the point production, and I think the shots will come around. So that's kind of just where I'm at here.
I'm gonna add him
to it's been
I'm
great.
gonna add him to my cash show.
Okay. Great until getting paired with Cousins, then quiet, back with Stützle. Yeah, last game he was with Stützle, and I honestly I didn't think they'd change the lines. I think Cousins, Braun, Greg has been together for a while now. But in any case, though, Drake Batherson I think should be with Stützle. So we'll check on that though in morning skate. San Jose and Minnesota. The Macklin Celebrini machine go Burr. Does Jesper Wallstead get the net once again to shut down the opposition? My Philip Gustafson bags surely hope not, but a shutout against Calgary has me thinking quite possible. So DJ, San Jose, Minnesota, tell me about it.
I mean, what's funny is that back-to-back great Wallstead games has him at a 909, and I feel like everyone's just dunking on Gustafson, who's just a hair under a 900 goaltender. Like, I really don't think the problem has been entirely goaltending for this team, even though that seems to be the narrative around them. Like, they have not scored enough, and this is the perfect opportunity for them to do so. We talked about teams that just haven't put us to bed yet this year, and we continue to fade. Well, like Minnesota used to be a team with a massive concentration of offense. There has been exactly one time this year where Kirill Kaprizov has gone nuclear. It was the second game of the year against Columbus where he had a 44 bomb. I mean, he's had scores that would have helped quite a bit and been in a winning lineup potentially, but 20 isn't enough for him. This is like the perfect matchup for him. I mean, I don't think there's much I need to say about San Jose that hasn't already been said. Once Celebrini got put with good line mates, it helped him a lot. I think they, for whatever reason, thought he was already Leon Draisaitl and could carry around two absolute schmucks. That wasn't the case. I mean, the guy just can't do that yet. But when he's with Toffoli and Will Smith, yeah, I mean, those are very good hockey players that can elevate his game to this level. He does have it in him. I'm not saying he's a bad player. I just think that he is getting a little bit too expensive at 8K. Call me crazy. The volume is fine for him, but not quite good enough. The expected and the actuals are just kind of making me a little bit nervous. And I don't really see Minnesota as a soft matchup. Over time, I think that will bear out, and I'm just not going to go to it here. So I think for me, it's a no on San Jose. There's no defensemen that are that interesting. And again, it's just not for me. Now, anything you want to mention on San Jose, or I assuming you're not playing Macklin Celebrini? Oh, I guess William Eklund could return, right? Wasn't William Eklund?
Yes. Yep. William Eklund, I expect him to be in. San Jose is scoring a bunch and not generating anything. That's really all you need to know here. Does that continue? Who knows? But that's just simply the truth. 17.2K for that top line. Eklund does return, but that power play has been clicking. You certainly could see Eklund top power play, but Wenberg, they also love Alex Wenberg, and I don't know if they're going to go right to it immediately. It doesn't really matter for me. John Klingberg, 3,400 would be a very obvious stacking piece alongside Celebrini if that is your speed. Toffoli, Will Smith are both relatively underpriced. I would be fine one-offing either player. In all honesty, they, yeah, you're probably fading, a Celebrini game if your guy truly hits. But 7,900, if you play a McKinnon or something, like odds are you're not getting both. So like Celebrini and McKinnon. So as long as the guy you pick, elite center, outscores Celebrini, you're fine.
I'm just gonna say something, and there is a player on the San Jose Sharks, and actually, I'm not even gonna play the game with you. Mario Ferraro has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 blocks bonuses in the past 6 games. Is
yeah.
that? I mean,
that is what he does. He is. I
like
believe I said it in the newsletter a few weeks ago. He is a walking infirmary on the ice.
I like. Hold on, the cash game shell grows one bigger. McKinnon it hasn't even been put in yet. Mario Ferraro, Keandre Miller. I mean, am I giving away all the secret sauce?
Yeah.
27 blocks in his last 10. I mean, it's like he's almost on cue, and like it's just gone way up, like I said, over the past 5. So for blocks per game, interesting. I like, it was mentioned on 32 Thoughts that Elliot Friedman said, like, if this team could ever figure out how to play defense, and then they all of a sudden figured out how to play defense, and like someone was like, do you actually think they took that seriously? It was like a joke, but it's like, you know what? Mario Ferraro did.
All right, that's enough talk about Mario Ferraro.
Forever.
Minnesota, Kaprizov, Rossi, Zuccarello. I didn't hear what you said, so I'm just going to assume it was stupid.
You said we're no more Mario Ferraro. I said, all right, fine, Brock Faber time.
Okay, great. Kaprizov, Rossi, Zuccarello, Boldy, Eriksson, Johansson, Tarasenko, Hartman, Hinostroza is how they shut out the Calgary Flames. Just the most impressive
how could
performance
anyone
in
do
NHL
that?
history. Indeed. What I want to talk about, though, is exactly Brock Faber. Minnesota, no Jake Middleton. They moved up Zeev Buium to play with Brock Faber. And do you know what happened to Zeev Buium? He played 21 minutes against Calgary. If Jake Middleton misses again, I think Zeev Buium is actually in play at 3,600. He's not doing much for fantasy, but 20 plus minutes of a guy who is a game breaker against San Jose is pretty good. Do you just play Brock Faber because he's the guy who scores the goals apparently that Zeev creates? I guess. But Jared Spurgeon is now 5K. No thank you. So if you're playing, anyone in the top 6, I would be interested in Buium with it. Should Middleton be out?
Yep. I just don't really think of Buium as a cash shell viable guy, so that's concerning for me. But I could be convinced to play him in like the gross GPP type stuff. Boldy, Kaprizov, Eriksson, the usual suspects. Are you interested in Zuccarello? I mean, is it sort of like a contingency of playing Kaprizov that you're playing Zuccarello? I mean, he did it the post twice in that Flames game. I think he only had an assist, but yeah, I was gonna say probably is, but 5K just feels like pretty good price. Like his role has not gone down in any capacity since of what we expected. That makes sense to me, and he is on the top power play. So yeah, I guess I'll have to say that's obviously a pretty good play.
Yeah, I would expect the role to only grow for Zuccarello too. Like for him to play 18 minutes feels like a floor alongside Kaprizov, and so for 5K, I think you're just getting the best of both worlds. I certainly would not play Kaprizov without him, just given what we know about their history together and Zuccarello's performance. And he's looked pretty good, coming back from injury. 9 expected points per game in his 2 games back, only 5 actual, but he's doing stuff at least, which is all we can ask for. And the 2 posts you're saying are probably expected goals or whatever that could have happened in a different universe.
And the Wild are home, right?
Yes, against San Jose.
So it was the Faber pairing looked like it did get the most minutes with Kaprizov. So if you are thinking about playing Buium for the reasons we've said to play Buium, or you're a Faber slappy and you just want to keep going back to the well, it does look like that had the most 5-on-5 run time. So would bear out better for that line, it looks like. Now, I mean, again, they'll be out there with probably everybody in some way, but that seemed purposeful.
All right. Calgary at St. Louis. I did not see anything new for Calgary. I think they were on a back-to-back yesterday, so no surprise there. But after getting shut out, you certainly could see line changes. So Zari, Kadri, Farabee, Hanzek, Backlund, Coleman, Huberdeau, Frost, Coronado. I mean, again, I expect all those lines to change. Certainly expect the pairs to change between Hanley, Uyghur, Ball Anderson, and Kuznetsov, Pahal. I'm guessing they get Parake back in. Um, any ideas, any one-offs, anything you like here on the Calgary side of this matchup?
I mean, Coronado is shooting again. The 11 shot on goal game is probably an outlier, but who's to say? Like, he does profile super well at 4,100. That when the minutes are there, this guy can get there very easily. I mean, a 20.8 without a point is insanity. I mean, like he is that type of player. But like that was the profile that he had, and he's with two guys that do not really like to shoot in Huberdeau and Frost. So yeah, I could buy it. But on the same token, if they get up and it's not him, I expect him to go. I mean, he's basically Brant Clark, only on offense and with more upside. Um, so does that mean you only play this guy in a situation where you're also playing the Blues? I don't know. Honestly, at this point, I couldn't even call you an idiot for it.
Utilized properly, Brent Clark is a top 5 NHL fantasy defenseman. I do not feel the same about Matt Coronado. In any case,
Well,
Mackenzie Uyghur is fine, 5,400, but again, with Parake probably drawing back in, that top power play role is a bit tenuous. Rasmus Anderson, 4,300. Same deal, but less role insecurity there. So if we don't get news, default to Parake or Anderson personally. But yeah, I think I like the other side of this game a good bit more.
Yeah, I would definitely like the other side more. I'm
Right.
down to move over to it.
So we got new lines in practice today, once again. Bushnevich, Thomas Snuggerud, which we've seen before. Holloway, Dvorsky, Kairu, which we have not seen before, and woo boy. Shen, Suter, Joseph, Torpchenko, Sundqvist, Walker. Top line, fully power play correlated with Cam Fowler and Dvorsky on it. That top line in St. Louis is 13.5K. Robert Thomas is in pretty poor coming back from injury, so I'm not sure that there's much more to him than what we've seen, given, we know he's a pass first type of guy and they're currently not scoring many goals. But Dvorsky, Holloway, Kairu is clearly, for me, the interesting line. 14.5K. We get Kairu and Holloway, even though they're not top power play. They still remain two of St. Louis's top 3 forwards, no question about it. And then Dvorsky is on the top power play, and we've done the whole Dvorsky thing. So he's got the prospect profile. We've talked about it. So I'm not going to do that again. But any thoughts here on St. Louis?
Yeah, I mean, I'd obviously like a little bit more run out of Dvorsky, but this move feels like a move that puts him in that spot to get that run. Like, what how do you generate more goals? In my opinion, having me like I don't think it's even in question. Like that is their best pure shooter. I'm not saying he's an unbelievable rate shooter, but I think he has the best shot on the team already. Like that is the guy they're setting up on the top power play. That is who they want shooting the puck on their top power play. He isn't playing enough. This role should increase. Moving up to this line, I think you push all your chips in the table. If you're going with any line, it's that one. Bet Dvorsky to score tomorrow. Like, I love that kind of a bet. I think a point, it makes perfect sense. Like, whatever you want to do, I definitely think that this is a great time to get in on a very, very talented player.
Fuck, I did not realize Parade got hurt when he left that game. Okay, well, take back everything I said about Uyghur. I think
Mackenzie
Uyghur's a good player.
Uyghur to the
Thank
moon.
you, Shamstron, for cluing me in there. I missed that in my Twitter search.
Wow. I didn't even really ever see that either, I guess. So who am I to judge? Okay.
Yeah,
So
well,
my point stands. I believe that we're both.
okay,
I really like St. Louis too. There you go.
cool,
Call me crazy.
great. Yeah, we did it. We solved it. If you had to pick one, DJ, Holloway or Kairu?
It's probably I think it's just Cairo. I don't like it, but
Because
he's
we're
a
talking
donkey
about
trucker.
we're talking about a 8.7 or 8.5K mini stack, which I think works better in lineups than a 14.5K full line stack. So just a minor thought there.
Yeah.
And since we are talking about a slate with Nathan McKinnon, a lot of high end pieces, if you need a line that is going to piss everyone the fuck off, 9,700 for Shen, Suter, Matthew, Joseph. Uh, I mean, that line probably plays like if this is a 2-0 win for St. Louis, that line plays 18 minutes, no problem, in my opinion. So
Yeah.
I could see
Actually, it's
that being
kind of
like the William Karlsson line of
it's
this
funny.
slate.
I'm sitting here like Dvorsky, bigger role. He's finally with Holloway and Cairo, and it's like they just fucking healthy scratched Cairo. Like it's Suter's gonna play 30 minutes. What am I even talking about?
All right,
I don't know.
the main
You
event.
gotta go for it sometimes. But yeah, main event.
Anaheim heads into Colorado, a 9:30 start. Just I wonder, is that because this game's on ESPN or something?
No
What are
idea.
we doing this for?
It's in
Why is it a
Colorado.
7:30 start local time? Can I get excited that it's on
Uh,
TNT? Let's go. We are featuring the good hockey teams. Holy shit. The NHL and TNT figured it out. All right. Anaheim first up. Well, let's take a look at the matchup in general because Anaheim doesn't look fantastic. That's because Colorado is an absolute buzzsaw. The Corsi pace in this matchup does look pretty fantastic, the highest on the slate, and the goals 6.9. Nice.
nice.
Only game even close to it is Toronto Boston way at the beginning, and that's just because both these teams are scoring like absolutely crazy. All right, so we've established that this is a good game. DJ, thoughts
Yep.
on Anaheim?
I mean, all the good thoughts in the world. Everything is rainbows and unicorns for the Anaheim Ducks, and they're going to keep scoring every game, at least four. I think four is the minimum now for them. I mean, Leo Carlson, is there anything bad you could say about his game? He plays all the minutes. He plays
No,
power play, penalty kill. He's shooting all of a sudden. It sounds like he's learned that shooting the puck could have positive side effects, like I don't know, 5 goals in the past 3 games. I'm not saying he's going to get a blocks bonus anytime soon, but he has one. And maybe this is the matchup with a donkey chucker and Nathan McKinnon where he just triple bonuses. Who's to say? 5,800. It's not enough for the role. It's not enough for the player. He's been fantastic. What was the winning formula? Well, it wasn't just playing him with any of his line mates. It was playing him with the best other player on this team, Cutter Gauthier, who, again, we continue to play. He's gone from like 3,900 to 6,700. 20 points, 15 games, 11 goals, leading the league in shots per game, everything you want and more. I mean, can you convince me that that's just not how to do this? Can you convince me not to play Jackson Lacombe? Okay, yep, that was easy. But could you convince me? Could you convince me to just play those two and move on?
are you
Yes.
really trying to piss off the DFS gods here before the game of the on fucking TNT? They're gonna be like, yeah, Jackson Lacombe has this $9 million contract as he's scoring 6 goals in this one, and they're just like
Yeah.
the future of. I think he's American USA hockey.
Yeah. The TNT guys will be straight up jorking it to Jackson Lacombe highlights, but
Yeah.
I will not be.
Um,
Myself. I'm not playing him. That's fine. Continue
Otherwise,
onward with
though,
your.
I believe Zellweger has earned back the PP2 job from Minchikov, so there you go. Um, Yeah, Leo Carlson, if you're playing him, you pretty clearly just play him with a power play forward or two. Cutter, Kreider, Terry. Terry's been awesome. I mean, he's got more expected fantasy points per game than Leo does, and both have been crazy good. So, 5,200 for Terry makes that at least a conversation above spending 1,500 more for Cutter at 67. So I could at least see that. McTavish, Seneca, if you want to play that with Cutter, no, no complaints here. You really can't go wrong. This is a really good team. Um, Colorado against Vancouver threw their shit into a blender.
Mhm.
This was on the heels of a 9-1 victory against Edmonton. So the fact that they weren't up by a trillion, I suppose, is actually
Concerning.
that's a problem, I suppose. But
Mhm.
one thing that I did want to call out from that usage was in their 5-4 overtime win. Gavin Brindley got promoted next to McKinnon Lehkonen. 2,500 Gavin Brindley also gets secondary power play time if they ever get the top power play off the ice, which is rarely. And Gavin Brindley was second over the boards in overtime. Um,
Mhm.
they started, I think they started McKinnon, Lehkonen, Tays, and then McCarr and Brindley came out, and then I think McKinnon changed as Brindley was scoring. So I'm not sure, but like it was the Gavin Brindley game, and he only played 11 minutes. The role might just be gone. Whatever. But in this matchup against Anaheim, it's going to be a fun one. If Gavin Brindley makes his way into the top six, 2,500 is a steal. This is a guy who, profile wise, like project as a really good prospect. He was, God, was he part of the return for Miles Wood? There's no
Sounds
way,
right.
right?
Coyle,
What is Columbus doing?
Wood, Gavin Brindley. I don't know. Miles Wood trade.
All
It's a good
right.
question.
Anyway. What are your thoughts on
I don't know.
the Avs here?
Colorado receives Gavin Brindley, a third-round pick, and a conditional second for Charlie Coyle and Miles Wood.
Okay.
Interesting. Is that what you wanted? What do I think?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, Colorado's in an unbelievably good spot. I would be very interested in seeing if they practice tomorrow and if we get power play lines. Lehkonen got some run with the top unit over near Tushkin and scored.
Yep.
Um, I think, did he like give the puck away? They got scored on shorthanded. I don't know.
Yes.
Was that just Tushkin's fault and then they benched him? I don't know if it's sticky, but I would
Lehkonen
keep.
was just really good. I mean, first two periods, Lehkonen was all around it, and I'm biased. I had Lehkonen in. It was kind of like, oh, why aren't you doing stuff? And then in the third period, he scored twice. So, like, I don't know.
Very
I
good.
felt
Very,
like I
very
was
good.
seeing it, but also I know I'm biased. Um, so that it could just be as simple as that. But ultimately,
Yeah.
I mean, they did reshuffle everything. So, like, Lehkonen staying up there does mean something, in the grand scheme of things. Nate just
Yeah.
got moved down, for example.
5,200 for Lehkonen just feels too cheap. I mean, he's nearly a point per game player playing alongside McKinnon. Like, clearly is the next guy over the boards on the top power play and has
Yeah.
been mixed in. The shot volume has been pretty good lately. Like, I really like that play just in general. I mean, it could be a cash game shell, but I mean, again, at this point, throw McKinnon with it, even when we're
Okay.
shelling it up.
Here we go. Here's what I wanted to show about Gavin Brindley. Last year in the AHL, he was a little bit disappointing. He was. I think he turned 20, like on opening night in the AHL last year. So young guy. He was a recent second round pick of Columbus. He's in Pronman's top 150, which is meaningful. I mean, he wasn't just a throw in to this trade, even though it sure seems like he was. Given I don't know why you're trading for Miles Wood and Charlie Coyle, but if you took his college stats before he declared as a pro, at age, basically 19, he was well above average in shots and unbelievably above average in points. This guy was just a straight up offensive dynamo in college. So it hasn't really translated in a super minor role. But if he gets elevated, I think he's, the sort of guy that you want to bet on early. Um, so that's all about Gavin Brindley. I mean, he could just be on the fourth line. It doesn't matter. So let's get over to the last two games.
Yep. Back
Columbus
to back.
and Seattle.
Mm-hmm. Nope, go on.
Okay. Well, I was gonna pull up Columbus's lines here because they were a mess.
This is what they started with.
Okay.
Other than there was sickness, but I think you actually got it. So keep an eye on Cole Sillinger returning to the lineup because he was out sick, and so was the aforementioned Miles Wood was out sick. It would be pretty sad if he was already getting benched after getting traded for Gavin Brindley. So yeah, I mean, back to back.
Yeah.
It's against Seattle, so there's a point in the right direction for them. The top line is still very, very, very fucking cheap. The second line feels unnecessary entirely because it just doesn't feel like Monahan or Kent Johnston are gonna shoot the puck and Boone Jenner isn't on either power play. Zach Werenski is still one of the best players in the world. So
Well,
what's wrong?
hold on. I'm looking at today's game. They've had one power play opportunity. It started as a 4-on-3, and it was Varensky, Monahan, Johnson, Marchenko, which tells me that probably Voronkov was the other guy there. And then the 5-on-4 portion of it, they went to Coyle, Jenner, Fantilli with Severson and Provorov.
All
So
right.
yeah, clearly Lundestrom was a holdover from someone down the lineup there that is no longer there. And yeah, Boone
Boone
Jenner
Jenner's
would be on
back,
the top
baby.
power play. Or sorry, second power play.
Did somebody say cash shell? Yeah, I like the top line just fine. I really like even on a back to back because I think they'll just keep people away, and it's been fantastic. Like again, look at this game. Marchenko has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 shot attempts. One's hit the post. None of them have been on the goal. So Fantilli has like freaking 8 shot attempts, only one on goal. Like no one's gonna see this shit. They're fantastic. That is the best iteration of the top line, and it should only continue to be a very, very prominent fixture in your lineup. And like it's a back to back going from what Vancouver to Seattle. Is that where they are tonight? Vancouver?
Edmonton.
Edmonton, that's right. Edmonton to Seattle, whatever. Planes work. People can sleep on a plane. They'll be fine. They'll rest up. They'll be good to go. You can't stop the Russian machine, and that's Kirill Marchenko. We've all been saying it forever. We're like the Russian machine, Kirill Marchenko. Right. Agreed.
It does not break, so I hear.
Yep.
Yeah, Voronkov, Fantilli, Marchenko is 16,000, so kind of nestled between the 18 and 14K lines we've been talking about. Zach Werenski, of course, much more expensive than that, but got to consider it. And what's nice about Seattle is that they just feed Chandler Stevenson to opposing top lines, which is gonna, I think, work out better for you in most cases. So I don't know if these lines are correct because
For who?
For Seattle.
It was Marchment, Stevenson, Eberle, Schwartz, Beniers, Tolvanen, Kako, Myers, Cartier, Catton, Wright, Winterton.
Okay.
So if you're looking for unders, Wright and Kako unders. Wright and Kako power play 2 and 0 minutes of ice time.
Yeah, that's okay. That's a problem, I would say.
Not great. Not great. All of the fun players don't play in Seattle, and all of the players that are not fun play all of the minutes. Like to the point where it's like, is Jordan Eberle good? And you squint and you look at things and you're like, I think he could be a cash shell player. At 4,900, he is back-to-back shot bonuses, 20 plus minutes. What are we gonna do if we're not playing Kyle Palmieri West at 4,900? Like I honestly am like I'm almost being not sarcastic about this. Like I'm being genuine. That
I think
really
we're just
good
depositing if we're not playing him alongside Stevenson. Obviously not playing Stevenson with it for fantasy, but like that role is just crazy good because Stevenson won't shoot. They'll play 1,000,000 minutes.
They'll accidentally find the puck in the offensive zone and he'll shoot.
Makes sense to me. Tolvanen is interesting. I mean, we were talking about him on Saturday, thinking he was going to be fourth line. Now he's basically doghouse to penthouse. He's still top power play alongside Beniers. This is basically the Yanni Newman. Like we were talking about Newman all. That's what Tolvanen is as a first rounder out of Nashville. That's what we were thinking of him as. It's taken a while for him to get here, but he's basically doing that. That full line cost you 12.8K. Beniers has been actually solid from underlying standpoint without getting much results to show for it. And Schwartz has been just solid and is much cheaper, at 4,300 than Beniers is. So I kind of like the second line, like full stacked too. I don't have a problem with Columbus. Like they're on a back to back. They're sick. Who knows if even more guys get the bug or whatever. Like it's kind of a messy situation. So you could go Schwartz, Beniers, Tolvanen with Brandon Montour. You could go Eberle and Dunn. You could just do any sort of combination of players.
I was gonna say like Vince Dunn has been really good too. I mean, 29 shots on goal in the past 10. The rates are supporting that kind of an output. The blocks are also there. He doesn't feel like a guy like that you look at stature wise, but he's playing a ton of minutes and he's not afraid to get in front of the puck. So like shots plus blocks, the price seems actually correct there, and I wouldn't have any problem with playing him in Eberle in reality against a back-to-back Columbus team. Like,
I mean, Brandon Montour has 2 games this season below 9 DK points, so I just kind of prefer that, but
well, that's called being brave, and I'm being a coward. So, congratulations.
All right. That's about all though. So let's get to Winnipeg, Vancouver, final game of the night. Winnipeg, they played yesterday and they got murdered by Anaheim.
Tough break.
Get practice. I think they had the day off. Yeah, it was a travel day for them. So
yeah, Cole
not sure
Perfetti returned to the lineup. He had a ton of shot attempts and was around it for sure. Like the expected goals numbers were also like pretty high. One game, but right back on the top power play. 18 minutes. Doesn't seem like they're easing him in, and it just kind of adds a formidability to a second line that actually didn't seem to exist before. They have their shutdown line with Lowry. They have a second line that at least has an semblance of offense, but it's all through Perfetti. And then the top line, which is, kind of do or die if they're going to win a game or not. So I'm interested in general. I'm definitely interested in Cole Perfetti. Like he is just a supremely talented player at 3,900. Matt, I don't think I need to say it, but are you considering maybe, a cash shell play?
I don't know who exactly you are alluding to here,
Cole
but
Perfetti.
I was just gonna highlight the what I've been stressing for the last several. I think Thursday, Saturday at least talked about this, but you got to apply context to something like these trends, and the last 10 games for each team are not all created equal. And for Winnipeg, I certainly think that's true with Adam Lowry and now Cole Perfetti back. Dylan Sandberg's finally the last piece that they're missing, but they are looking more and more like the quality middle six of a hockey team that we know is pretty good based on our history. So I'm kind of just throwing out this out the window, especially from the Vancouver side. It's just being like a great matchup, but also Winnipeg being like a negative across the board is pretty surprising, and I don't think that lasts. Um, so certainly we'll be clued into their games going forward from here, but specifically, yes, Cole Perfetti, 3,900 is a great play. I think that's sort of the Demidov, where you don't really just want to play Cole Perfetti, though. You do want to play one of Connor or Scheifele with that. Or Taze or Nemestikov, I don't really love either, but certainly basically I just don't want to play Cole Perfetti alone.
I agree. I mean, the top line in Winnipeg has just gotten a little bit out of hand with price. Like you're talking
22K.
Like I think Toronto is a better play. I mean,
if Colorado holds Lehkonen, McKinnon, Nachos, that's 21.9. Like Winnipeg one's actually 200 more than Colorado's top line, but Winnipeg's one is all correlated, and we
all
don't
correlated,
know Colorado,
and
which
the
we
ownership
assume
will be a lot lower. But
yeah.
I don't know. I don't know what to tell you. Just it's a tough click, but sometimes the tougher clicks can be the ones that win the slate. Now we have one team left to cover, and that's a team that I'm definitely not going to play.
These lines must be wrong. I did not get to this before we had to start. Honestly,
does it matter?
It does matter. We are the show that some people use to put tens of dollars into play.
They played Kane, Pedersen, Garland, DeBrusque, Ratty, O'Connor, Besser, Reichel, Kiefer, Carlson, Saison, Baines. That's what they played last game. If they practiced today, I apologize in advance.
They did not practice today.
So we don't know. They could change. They did lose, but they brought Colorado to overtime. So you know what? If you change your lines,
that's basically a win.
That's a win. Connor Garland had 24 minutes of ice time. I mean, is Connor Garland the best player on this team?
Who does he think he is? Kiefer Sherwood?
I would hate to infer that that's possible that he thinks that, because if he does Kiefer Sherwood, he has an assist now. Oh, Columbus, you fucked up. You can't let him get an assist. You ruined everything. Okay, I'm not playing them, and I don't have any interest in playing any of them. And if I was going to play one of them, honestly, I don't think Connor Garland's a bad play. And Quinn Hughes is he still way too expensive? Yeah,
67. I mean, Brock Besser's 4,400.
Yeah,
I don't know. You're really stress testing the respecting Winnipeg middle six when you stare at that price with the trends. So at least keep that in mind. But
Quinn Hughes, every time he gets down below 6,500, I start to peek my ears and eyes up over there. 67 starting to make me think about it.
Okay. Well, you can keep thinking about it. Are you ready for top stacks guaranteed goals?
Sure. You know what? Let me pull up my phone so I write these down and then maybe, actually tweet them out for the first time this year. Um, I'll probably do that tomorrow. So I'll
It's
let you
more
go
fun when
first.
they're just a total mystery until the next time we do a
I write
show.
them down every time. Last time we wrote them down was Thursday, and you had Ottawa 1, Philly 2, and I had Buffalo 1, LA 2. So
Jesus. What the hell
I
was
ha-
Thursday's show?
I don't know, but bad. I'm not gonna look back at it. I do remember that Buffalo didn't end up running that line at all. Like they were just
Yeah.
faking it.
Yeah.
So yeah, that doesn't count. I get a free pass. Congratulations to me. Um, you get to go first, like I said.
All right. Top stack. God. I'm gonna go with St. Louis. I'm gonna go St. Louis 2. Holloway, Dvorsky, Kyrou. Fuck the Calgary Flames. This team is trash.
I've never in my life been more certain of anything than you going with that exact line. Um, you could have given me $1 million and I would have won 1,000,001 when the -9 million hit. Okay. I'm gonna go against the grain here and go Rossi Kaprizov Zuccarello. Minnesota won. Is that against the grain against San Jose at home? Yes.
That is against the grain as diving into a fucking silo full of grain. You are just, oh God, incredible stuff.
the worst person to ever exist. Okay. You got another one.
Yeah, I'm gonna go back to the beginning of the slate. I'm gonna be brave.
Oh
Pavel
God.
Zacha, Victor Arvidsson, Charlie McAvoy.
So you're gonna take the two obvious cheap stacks, and I have Minnesota one, and now I have to figure it the fuck out. Great.
I think
Um,
Boston is an obvious cheap stack. Okay, interesting.
I mean, of all
Maybe
of
I'm
the
wrong.
cheap
Maybe I'm
stacks,
wrong.
her one of them. Fuck. You know what? I'm actually going to have bravery and say Eberly. No, yeah, I'm
Come
gonna,
on,
but
be
oh,
brave.
I'm gonna
Be
do it.
brave.
Who? If I know I want to do it, but who the fuck's the third guy?
Eberle, Beniers, Tolvanen. There you go.
Everly, Beniers, Tolvin, or Beniers, Tolvanen. Yeah, no, I think
Schwartz. Yeah,
that's.
sure. Yeah, sure. It's good. Be brave. Be bold.
I want one of the defensemen though.
Then pick a defenseman. It, am I going
I'm
crazy
trying to.
here?
No, you're not. I'm trying to figure out on the fly which defenseman pairs better with whom. The power plays are the power plays, but what about the 5-on-5?
Well, you're not doing a very good job of it, I will
It
say.
is done with Eberly. It is Montour. So you know what? Montour, Tolvin, and Beniers. It is, and whatever. But Seattle, I don't know if that's one or two. You get to decide at home. Beniers, Tolvanen, Montour.
Fantastic. And how did our guaranteed goals fare on Thursday? Wait, we did this on
Uh,
Saturday too, right?
yeah, I don't remember. Actually, Saturday's goals were really good.
Okay.
I think it was 3 for 4 on Saturday because
But you didn't
I
write them
had
down. What a shame.
I had Marchenko who scored twice, I believe. I have to go back and listen actually because I don't remember. You had Cutter. I said, where you get your ideas? He didn't score. So that may have been the one miss actually. I'm pretty sure
Impressive.
I'm almost positive we went 3 for 4. Almost positive. I just do not remember who the players were or anything else. I did not write them down. So on Thursday, we did bad and we talked about how bad we did. So we're not going to relive it again. We're going to talk about Tuesday. Matt,
Okay.
have I stalled enough for you to pick a goal that is guaranteed?
Are you ready? I don't think you're ready for this, DJ.
You're going to say something fucking stupid. All right. Who is it?
Corey Perry, guaranteed goal.
All right. Now, I was going to say a player, but I feel like it's going to be right in your range. So I'm going to let you go again if you're ready. And
Yeah.
if you're ready, go.
Wyatt Johnston, 7,300, perfectly on the money.
Okay. I'm going to go back to the beginning of the show and go with Tom Wilson. I actually really like that note you had about the matchup actually being like pretty good there. The usage is good. The getting tight ability. I mean, he's got 9 goals on the year, kind of quietly. Tom
Yeah,
Wilson
and
is. Yep.
while you think of your second guaranteed goal, I just wanted to showcase Carolina defensively gives up an above average amount of expected goals, and they give up a very below average, they're very good at limiting shot quantity, which means the expected goals are not coming on volume, they're coming from in tight, opportunities. And of course, that's where Tom Wilson lives. That was the note that I just wanted
Yeah.
to remind
If you
people of, since I'm sure people are not writing down notes for every single take on every single game, even though they should, obviously, because our takes are the best.
And I'm going to go back to Lehkonen. I mean, it's either A, not going to be categorized as in power play 1, and we're going to hope that it actually comes true, or it's just is going to be a really, really good spot and a really good play. And like I said, over the last 5, his shots have been very high.
I dig it. Final hour of the show, DJ. Tim Earl in the chat. Any hope for the Sabres?
Tim,
you have
why do you
59 minutes.
do this? Why do you do this every year? And I'm not talking to you only. I'm talking to myself. No, there's no hope for the Sabres. They fucking suck. They suck the life out of us every single year. We buy back in. We believe. We let them hurt us. We rinse and we repeat.
I am not letting you say that they suck the life out of you. DJ, you suck the life out of them. You went to Italy and said, I'm going to throw a coin into the Trevi Fountain to bring them good luck. And then you fucked up the coin toss. And now fucking Rasmus Dahlin's fiance has a heart failure, situation. Yuri Kulik is like on death's door. He has like a blood clot in his leg and vertigo in his brain. Like it's all fucked. Jason Zucker has like hand, foot, and mouth dysentery. Like it's bad. Everything is bad, DJ, and it's your fault. You do not get to say that they inflict any pain on you. This is your doing.
Okay, you're right. I go all the way to Italy and I perform a ritual that could only bring them luck, and I am the problem.
Over the shoulder. Over the shoulder. Over the shoulder.
You just made that up. You made that up. Who said that? I was there for a while.
Amateur?
I never saw a single person do that.
Are you a Trevi Fountain amateur?
I am.
Can't be having Trevi Fountain amateurs on the show. And yes, of course, Josh Norris got hurt after 3 minutes. I mean, God, the list is a mile long. And Zach Benson, the future, the hope is hurt twice. Like,
no,
he spent time in the hospital too.
No. The problem with your theory is that the Sabres have all of a sudden been bad and had terrible luck. Like, oh no, different. Not until this fucking year have the Sabres been a fucking miserable.
Is different though. Every other year, it's like there's no excuse. Like they just go out and they suck and like they're boring. But they came out. Zach Benson was like, "I'm fun. Like this team's fun. We're gonna win. We're gonna get points in 7 straight games." And then just everyone disappears. So yeah, it's different. This is different, DJ.
This is Josh Allen's fault. I don't know how yet. I'll figure it out.
You know what? I think Brian Dable can fix this.
Brian Dable can fix it. Fucking Christ. But no, we really got to go. 55 of 150, by the way, for best buck for my advanced rage right now. In case we have to end on a high note. Something to give me faith. Something so I can believe in myself again.
I am not too far off of that, but I'm certainly below that number because I suck. Anyway, let's get out of here. Yeah, I'm at 40 of 150. Thank you all for listening. Please make sure to follow me at Fake Moods and subscribe to my newsletter, moods.beehive.com. DJ is at DJ_Mitchell94. Are you on Tails now? Is that official? Or
yeah, I know. I didn't fucking do them today. I got to figure it out, man. We were on there together. I can't figure it out.
Okay. Yes, the people loved your explanation of Tails on the at the beginning of last show on Saturday. So,
I didn't know.
Yeah, no, they loved it. They were having a grand old time.
Me too.
So yeah, and if you follow DJ, he also has the what's the other betting? Dub Club. There you go. It's all free. If you like betting, on hockey and don't like hour and 20-minute podcasts, that's for you. And if you like articles that take an hour to read, my newsletter is for you. So moodshappyapp.com once again. All right, we'll be back on Thursday.
The embrace of a woman, neither of us are for you. Good luck.
No, we cannot help you there.
Can't help you there.
All right. Thank you all for listening. From Doug, from DJ, from myself, have a good Tuesday slate, everybody, and we will see you.
You're sitting there looking like an idiot.
Well, is that any different than normal?
This is the first time I will admit was unbelievably wrong.